What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. Y'all hit the like button as y'all come on in here. Um, what else I was gonna say, man? I appreciate all the new subscribers that have been supporting the channel. Everybody that's been showing love. I got a lot of new subscribers over the past like week and a half. They mean a lot to me and my family. Y'all helping me push the channel out and get the channel out in the algorithm heavily, and that's greatly appreciated for sure. Um, we live, we live and direct. Glad to be sitting here talking to y'all once again. I haven't went live in a few days, so we making up for some lost time right now. Probably be on here for about an hour. I don't want to get on here and chop it up with y'all. Jabari Mitchell, what's going on, dog? What's the deal? What is the word, man? I'll let y'all come on in here before I start getting into the topic. We're talking about PJ Washington, NBA player versus Brittany Renner. Um, and this is an old tale of, you always hear people say be careful who you have children by, because at the end of the day it's about the child. And when a child see two adults being in turmoil with each other continuously, it's not good for that child at all, in no way. And now you in a situation where having to deal with the other parent is just tumultuous, and it's got you losing your mind. You saw the Nike ad. Which one? The LeBron ad? Yeah. I mean, what people mad about it? Yeah, I saw it. You got some people upset about it. The Renner being in the news a lot for the wrong reasons. It's a fact. That is a fact. 100%. We gonna get into it though, man. What's up, y'all? Y'all comment in the chat as y'all come on in here. Hit the like button as y'all come in. About like 2 more minutes, and I'm gonna just go right into the topic. But I'm glad to see we getting a nice little audience in here right now. Um, I'm gonna break everything down. Just give me like 2 minutes. I'm just waiting for everybody to just file on in. Waiting for everybody to come on in here. Remember when Brittany Renner was on Club Shay Shay talking about she don't care how many men she don't care how many men she mess with. Is that what I'm trying to remember? Did she said that? I remember she was on there. I really didn't even watch it for real. I saw little clips of it, but I really didn't even watch her interview for real. Kevin Gates girl, you mean she ain't even with Kevin Gates? That's why she mad right now. According to Kevin Gates, it seemed like she ain't even with him no more, right? So yeah, but Jason Hunter, what's going on with you? Dwayne Coleman, she's kind of childish. She recorded, then put them on the internet. She make herself look bad. So all right, for those who don't know, PJ Washington, NBA player, had a baby with Brittany Renner. Brittany Renner is a girl, a woman who is popular for being ran through, okay, to say the least. Um, her escapades, sexual escapades and exploits have been on social media and for everybody to see. It's been front and center for a while. Okay. After all of them escapades and her exploits have been publicized for everybody to see, PJ Washington decides to date her in a serious relationship. He then has a baby with her, right? After having a baby with her, he realizes this is not the woman he should be with. This is not the woman he wants to spend the rest of his life with. They go their separate ways. A few years after that, PJ Washington gets married. I believe PJ Washington got married in like 2023, 2024, right? So anyway, him and Brittany Renner decide they keep co-parenting. The other day, PJ Washington comes to pick up his son. When he picks up his son, the son starts crying as soon as he's handed to PJ Washington through the door. And Brittany Renner saying, this is what we not gonna do. I'm gonna record this. I'm gonna start recording this. This is the third time. She's saying this is the third time he's left with PJ Washington, and he started to cry as soon as he left. Now the boy probably like 3 or 4. It's a young child, young. It's not no 9, 10-year-old child. This is about a 3 or 4-year-old child, right? And so she's like, he keep crying. I'm gonna record you. I'm gonna record this. She's following him to the car and like being belligerent, like, in so many words, she's trying to insinuate, like, are you doing something to him that he's crying? And she just going off. I'm recording. Then her mother comes out and starts recording as well, following them around the car. Well, basically, she starts saying stuff to PJ Washington as well. Now, unbeknownst to us, PJ Washington's wife is in the car. She's in the passenger seat, right? He's coming to pick up his son. She stayed in the car the whole time. And Brittany Renner and her mom are at the car going off, making it seem like PJ Washington is a bad father or something. That's why the baby crying or something, right? And so he like, yo, the mama just going in. Her mama going off. PJ Washington like, yo, suck my you know what, right? And the mama say, well, if you had one, I would do it if you had one, which is a weird retort or a weird response. I think Brittany Renner said, I would love to. Like, we know you would, Brittany. But anyway, he's obviously like, he's over it. Like, PJ Washington seems to be super frustrated. And then Brittany Renner's mother, this is a white woman too, because Brittany Renner is mixed. She's half white, half black. Brittany Renner's mother, she says, you got $170,000 for your wife, for your B word or whatever, but you only got $11,000 for your son. Only got $11,000 for your son. And she going off and snapping and all of that. And they see that his wife is in the passenger seat. So I feel like they're upping the ante. They going off even more because they seem to be upset that he with this woman now, right? And they going off. And PJ Washington is, he responding back to them, and the wife is in the passenger seat. She eventually starts snapping out because they're insulting her. They're insulting her. Then they telling her, step out the car, get out the car, calling all type of names and all of that. PJ Washington gets in the car and tries to drive up out of there. But Brittany Renner and her mother, I mean, they out their damn mind. I mean, they are insulting PJ Washington. They going off. They snapping, all of that. And I said, man, look at all of this here. Look at all of this here. And that's why you have to be careful who you have children by. For real. Brittany Renner is a confused woman. She is. For one minute she Islamic, right? One minute she's Islamic and all of that. The next minute she not. She's Islamic based upon who she's dating at the time. She was messing around with Kevin Gates. Allegedly, she's not messing around with him no more. So she's not Islamic no more, right? We don't see her in traditional Muslim garb or nothing like that, right? She going off. She getting belligerent. One minute she's preaching against being a 304. The next minute she with it. It's just all type of just craziness. So she's a confused woman within herself. Like, again, she got all that going on. Then when you add the fact, she's probably upset that, this man has moved on with his life, and she thought she was going to move on with Kevin Gates. Kevin Gates and her didn't work out, and I don't know why the hell she thought her and Kevin Gates was going to be a match made in heaven. I don't know why she thought her and Kevin Gates was going to be together forever. Who knows? But it probably made her upset that he didn't found happiness and got married and all of that. And she is out here being Muslim for a rapper that is not serious with her for real at all. Yeah, he outside with you, but he ain't serious with you for real at all. And I'm looking at this whole situation. I'm like, man, this is crazy. She want to record. This is the third time. I'm like, the brother's coming to get his baby. She said it's the third week in a row. He coming to get his baby every week. So that's one way when she said this is the third week in a row. And she's making a big deal saying that, oh, the baby keep crying every single time you come in to get him. I'm about to record now. Well, the baby probably crying because he knows when his father come to pick him up, his father and his mother gonna get into a screaming match with each other. Wow, PJ Washington wasn't even screaming at all. He was keeping his wits about himself until the mama came out there going off. And even when he said something to the mother, he wasn't screaming and hollering, right? But the baby probably like, yo, every time my father come pick me up, my mother gets to going off, hollering and yelling. He probably was anticipating his mother and grandmother screaming at his father and said, let me just start crying right now. Let me get this out the way. You know what I'm saying? Let me get this out the way. Um, Yeah, and like SL said, Kevin Gates not even messing with his own wife. I don't know why Brittany Renner thought her and Kevin Gates was gonna be together forever and they were gonna live happily ever after. Let's be for real. Let's be for real. But again, this is why men have to be, men and women too. Be careful who you have children by. Cause Brittany, from the outset, she can seem all nice. She's just a chaotic woman. For real. And she got a lot going on. Um Again, anytime I see a woman being Muslim due to the man that she's dating, not even the man she married to, the man she dating, I know something going on. And then she ain't Muslim no more now. Like what? This just let me know you pretty confused. And then when you take into account her upbringing, she had a very like she's talked about her upbringing, like, she was raised with she's mixed, she's biracial. Her mother is white, her father is black, but she was raised amongst white folks, and she had a complex about herself being black in these white environments and white schools and all of that. She ended up going to Jackson State to kind of get a change of scenery and be around more black folks. So she didn't been through a whole lot of just turmoil in her life, and it sometimes you probably see it, you can see it seep out in her everyday interactions and stuff like that. But let me just say this, man, and this is me as a man, and I know some of the women might get upset when I say this. I'm not having no child with no woman that's ran through out here. I'm just not. Nor am I seriously trying to date this woman at all. Um, yeah. I don't think that's a wise decision. It's not. She got some stuff going on with her personally. That all of this is happening. She's allowing herself to be with this one, that one, this one, that one, this one, that one, this one, that one. She got a lot going on. And I wouldn't have time to be trying to mix in with that. No. Something going on that this is going on. That she doing all of this. Something internally, she needs some healing internally, is what I'm saying. And PJ, I don't know if you was gonna be the one to heal her. I'm just not doing it. I'm not. But I mean, I'm sure he don't regret his child. The baby here. It's all love, right? But yeah, you gotta be when you make decisions like this, you gotta know what's bound to come with this. You know, we as men let lust get the best of us, and as I say, that SL is coming through right here. We as men let lust get the best of us, right? We see a beautiful woman, she got all these sexual exploits, and she's she can do this and she can do that to you, and men get excited about those type of things, right? I'm not exempt from that. I'm not. But at the end of the day, I just can't be. I'm like, man, you got to use your better judgment. Is this a woman I really want to be having a child with? And how is this going to go if we don't work out? And I know people don't like to think about that, right? But sometimes you got to think about, if me and this woman do not work out, how is our relationship going to be? Is it going to be tense? Is she going to be belligerent with me? Is she going to be like wilding on me if we don't work out? You got to think about those things and then say, man, is it worth it having a connection with this woman where I have a child with her? For real. Now again, I know he don't regret his baby, and I know the baby here, so we ain't even finna get into that like part of it, because you love your child. But man, What? All of that that's coming with her, she putting on the show, putting you on camp on the internet for everybody to see. You trying to pick up your baby. She got all y'all on like she got all of y'all all on social media, right? You playing in the NBA, you just trying to do your thing and trying to do your thing, trying to take care of your child. She got you all blasted all across social media. Then your wife, unfortunately, your wife got to deal with this woman that's just out of whack. You know, you got to deal with your woman that's out of whack. You got to deal with your wife. Got to deal with your child's mother that's insulting her, and your child's grandmother who is insulting her and all of that. Yeah, PJ Washington is an NBA player. He is, and I was just like, man, this is just a mess. This is a mess, man. And yeah, I think a lot of times, man, when men get with women, they only think about this woman fine. She look good. She could freak me good. Versus, man, is this a woman I really, really want to be connected to the rest of my life? Do I want to be connected to this woman for the rest of my life? You know, and yeah, I don't. And maybe PJ Washington thought he did at one point, but now he looking like, yo, this is crazy. But again, I know he don't regret his child, but this is coming down to this. You come get your baby is always something. And it might be a point to where they might have to have a mediator to where his sister or his mama or his father or his cousin got to pick up the baby. Cause it's getting too out of hand between them two. And you don't never want it to be like that. You can't even go get your child because, you can't even go get your baby because the mother is gonna be just wilding out on you every time you go get the baby. Yeah, Cully is great point. Does this woman add value to your life outside of the bedroom? And I'm gonna put that on the screen. Because a lot of men don't think like that. As long as a woman can have great sex and get you off, that's all some men think about. Me personally, as a man, I'm telling y'all right now, I've never been into women that every man can touch. Like growing up, I never wanted to be with girls. There's a lot of men like that. If she out here, she getting ran through, they want to be a part. They want to be a participant. I never have been into women that every man could just get to. One, I'm scared of catching something. I really am. I'm afraid of that. I'm really afraid of catching something. Two, I just don't want to be able to. I don't want to be the woman that everybody can say they can get. I'm out here. Wow, I'm out here holding her hand, being all in love with her, and everybody that was on the college campus, everybody in the town she from, didn't been with her. Everybody didn't seen her naked. Everybody didn't know. They know about her sexual exploits, what she do well. No, I don't like that. That ain't for me. Some brothers get a kick out of that. They like that. That's for them. Never been my thing at all. So yeah, man. Um, it's crazy. But again, PJ Washington, seeing her like I need this woman. I need this woman. I need this woman. And look at what he's dealing with. Then the mama. I'm sorry. You got to get your mama up out of here. Your mama shouldn't be coming out here wilding out on me when you coming out. Now, come on, now. Tell your mother this is not her place. I'm not a threat to you. I'm not threatening you. I'm not being aggressive with you. Your life is not in danger. Why is your mother out here following me around my car, hurling insults at me, hollering out my business, recording me? Come on, man. Like, what do you get your mom? Come on, get your mother. Your mother is a grade A Karen out here going off. I'm thinking this Brittany Renner's homegirl that's out there with her. I'm thinking this got to be her best friend or something. This is her mama. Like, this your mother doing this? She don't know no better. She don't know better than, man, this ain't the way to handle this, man. This is her grandson's father. This ain't the way for this to go. She out here engaging in the same thing her daughter engaging in. And I'm thinking, well, damn, maybe this is why her daughter has these immaturity bouts because of her mother. Because man, what? What? Definitely get your mama. Your mama don't got nothing to do with none of this. Get your mother. Don't have your mother coming out insulting my wife, hollering out, "Oh, you giving her 170,000? Your son only get 11,000." Like what? Come on, man. What do you know about my financial business with my financial dealings with my wife? Like, come on, what are you talking about? But yeah, I don't know, man. A reasonable mother would not be putting herself in that, especially when the father is of no threat to your daughter. None of that. Juan said that's why Coach Prime brought her in to speak with the team. Man, even that, like, I don't know, man. So I guess they feel like some people need to hear from the horse's mouth. Coach Prime can tell these young men all about what a lot of women be like when you get to a high stature, and when you are um what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, when you are a wanted man, when you are a professional athlete, he could tell a lot of the young men himself about the dangers what you could fall into. Um, Zero said, I don't expect Brittany Renner's mother to be any better since her daughter is the bottom of the barrel. You know what's crazy, man? Some women be coming from good good homes and good parents and just still just fall into whatever traps. I mean, they fall into a certain lifestyle that they wasn't even raised to be in. But it's clear her and her mother come from a similar tree. The way her mama, I thought it was a homegirl, the way her mama was going off. I'm like, this got to be her best friend. This is her mama. Aaron Ford, funny. He say, I still kind of look at the move Coach Prime did sideways. It looked like he was trying to be her sugar daddy after the lecture. Because I'm like, in my opinion, I don't think you need to bring Brittany in to talk to these players. You can tell them about these dangers of dealing with certain women when you get to the top of the top. When you get to when you get to getting your professional career, making millions of dollars, you can explain to them like the many traps that are set out by women. You know, you were prime time Deion Sanders, one of the biggest stars walking the earth, especially American turf. You can tell them the dangers of that. You don't need Brittany coming in and talking to them, you know? But I don't know. I guess he maybe feel like they wasn't gonna listen to him. And that's what SL, I'm saying the same thing. Them players at Jackson State did not care about Brittany Renner's explaining the dangers of these women. They wanted to get at her themselves. They like, listen, man, Brittany, I want to get at you before you get up out of here. Before you get up out of here, give me your phone number so we can meet somewhere. That's what they was on. They like, look, Brittany, I don't care what nobody talking about. I'm trying to get with you. That's exactly what it was. Uh did Travis Hunter and his young wife divorce? No, they didn't. That was a rumor. That was they didn't divorce. That was a rumor. You said you can explain away, but they was all trying to hit. You know they was. They trying to get up in there too. They like Coach Prime. I hear you, but I need in on that. That's what they was looking at. I need in on Brittany. That's exactly how they was feeling. Um, but yeah, you definitely gotta be careful who you have children with, and understand that once you all are no longer together, you got to think about how is this relationship going to go. And that's why I think it's important to see before you have children with a person, before you marry a person, you got to see what that person looks like when they're upset. When they mad, are they unreasonably and uncontrollably just furious? Are they really vindictive, vile, manipulative people when they get upset and when they don't get their way? You got to see a person when they upset to say, dang, is this the person for me? Because a lot of times people just be in bliss and they be in the honeymoon phase and they make long-term decisions based on being in a honeymoon phase. They're like, yo, let's get married, let's have a baby, let's move in together, let's do this, let's do that. And then they have an argument one day and they say, oh my God, this person is really vindictive. This person is really mean spirited. This person says vile things when they're upset with me. This person will damage the crib and tell stuff in the house when they get upset. This person will hit below the belt when they get mad at me. This person will commit domestic violence when we are not, when we're in disagreement with each other. They find out these things at the end. This person is verbally abusive, you know? So you got to see what a person looks like when they're mad before you start making long-term decisions with a person. And that's what um that's when it's come, whether it's a baby or whether it's marriage or whatever. Cully talking about Carucci making Prime's last remaining toes curl. Hey, you are hilarious. You are hilarious. Yeah, Prime say he need that. He need in on that. Carucci say, listen, Carucci almost 40. She say, listen, I'm tired of these young dudes, man. She didn't bring with Chris Brown. Chris Brown taking on a ride. Chris Brown doing a dirty, having babies on her. She said, I need to get with a seasoned man, a seasoned veteran. Prime, like in his late 50s. She like, I need to get with a seasoned brother. Prime about 57, 56. She like, look, she like, what's Carucci about what, 37? 37, something like that. She like, look, man, I need to get with a dude. I need to get with a dude that done got his mind made up, that know what he want, that done did all the stuff he wanted to do in life. Prime, that been with the women he wanted to been with, he wanted to be with. Prime didn't live the life of a superstar celebrity. He didn't dated. He didn't been married before. Prime didn't been married like twice before already. He didn't been in long-term relationships. He didn't mess with girls out, did his own thing, running around with the girls outside, all of that. So yeah. Did you hear Whitlock call Deion a fake Christian? He always called Deion a fake Christian all the time. But Whitlock is a fake Christian. He can. I hate Christians that I don't like Christians that only want to see the bad in a person that's a liberal, right? They don't never want to see the bad in a person that's a conservative. He will ignore black folks getting gunned down by law enforcement. He will ignore racism coming from conservative white folks. He will ignore um, the plight of Black American folks and just say, it's no big deal. But the moment a Black person has a rapper around, if a Black Christian has a rapper around, he act like the world is ending. He act like hellfire is finna be in the street. The moment Coach Prime is with a rapper or something so Whitlock is a very big hypocrite. He's a fake Christian himself. He only uses the Bible to suit his own agenda. Okay? Because if he was really into the Bible, he would talk about police brutality. When police brutality was the topic at hand, he would have acknowledged how wrong it was. He would have talked about how wrong and vile it was for Black folks to be unjustly having their life taken while being unarmed. If he was really a Christian for real, he would have spoke about these things. But instead, he chooses to make excuses for that. So he's a fake Christian for real. So Whitlock can go, he can go, he can miss me with that type of talk. You think Todd Bowles should have stood for Shiloh? I thought he did him dirty. Well, one, I don't know if it was just that incident that got Shiloh cut. I don't know how Shiloh was playing. You know what I'm saying? In the preseason games and in camp, I don't know how he was performing on the field. I'm not sure if he was doing well or not. I wasn't paying attention to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So, shout out to Eric Mays. He's a handkerchief head, you know what. Shout out to Eric Mays, man. Rest in peace to Eric Mays. But yeah, I'm not sure how Shiloh was performing for real. So I can't give you an honest assessment on if Todd Bowles should have stood up for him, etc. So yeah, I really can't even give you an honest assessment for real, man. Uh, why they say Black Panther teaser trailer? What are they talking about? Yeah, Belichick should have stuck with his wife. He's too old to be running around with these harlots. Yeah, rap guy. Thoughts on Ray Lewis and Shannon Sharpe feud? Yeah, man, I talked about that the other day, about 2 days ago on live stream. Might have been 3 days ago now. I talked about Ray Lewis and Shannon Sharpe. Man, Ray Lewis still mad that Shannon called him out about the Colin Kaepernick situation when Shannon was what's the word I'm looking for? When Shannon was on FS1 Undisputed, he was on a debate show, and they asked him about Ray Lewis's comments involving Colin Kaepernick. Ray Lewis talking about he never was gonna kneel. He don't agree with that. Yada yada yada. And then as soon as Steve Bisciotti, the Ravens owner, said we all kneeling, he was in there kneeling on both knees. Soon as the owner said we kneeling, Ray Lewis, as if he's still a player, went out there and kneeled too. And he ain't gonna talk about I wasn't kneeling, I was praying for them. What? Let's be for real, man. Let's be for real. Like you was not, nah. You out here, you was condemning Colin Kaepernick about kneeling, and you would never kneel, and it's about the flag and all that type of stuff. And then as soon as the Baltimore Ravens owner said we all kneel, and you went out there and kneeled, and then tried to act like you wasn't kneeling, you was praying instead. But you was trying to throw Colin Kaepernick under the bus. Your former teammate and friend Shannon Sharpe disagreed with you and laid out why he disagreed with you because it was a topic on a sports debate show that he was a part of. Right? You got upset with Shannon disagreeing with your stance, and you took offense to it, and then you came on Undisputed after that to voice your grievances with Shannon, right? But y'all relationship has never been the same after that. You felt upset because Shannon basically took you to school about your stance. You felt like after when Shannon did that, the black community was looking at you funny style, and you didn't like that because the black community has never looked at you funny style. They stood, black community, including Shannon Sharpe, stood with you when you was having that trial, when you was on that trial for poking somebody up, right? Allegedly. And you didn't like the fact that Shannon, when Shannon broke down uh why he felt like you were wrong, you didn't like the fact that the black community was looking at you funny style. And so you blame Shannon Sharpe for that. And that is why you and Shannon aren't close. It's not that Shannon drinks Le Portier on Club Shay Shay and he never drunk before, not because he's somebody different now. No, that's not the reason. Zero, man, that's all love. He say, Matt, congrats on 24,000 subs. I peeped the number, been going up, my brother. All love, man. Look, that's because of y'all. Y'all the ones that have helped this channel grow and grow. And y'all gotten me to new heights that I can only imagine. So it's because of y'all, man. Y'all, the people that constantly support the channel, people that share the videos, like the videos, tell other people to subscribe. Y'all the reasons why the channel is growing and growing and growing. And we're gonna try to keep this up. We're gonna keep trying to take this channel to new heights each and every time, each and every day. I'm always thinking about what I could do on the channel, what I could talk about to spread the influence and really to help my channel get bigger and bigger. I appreciate it, Zero. Uh, in reference to the Colin, that's not. He said, Calvin said that's not Ty Bowles, that's Bunny Colvin. They definitely look alike, Calvin. Bunny Colvin, shout out to the Wire fans, man. That is Bunny Colvin. Todd and Bunny is brothers. That's they brothers or they first cousins. Something along the lines of that. Um Do you think Ray had anything to do with those unalivings in 2000? I don't know. He was around them dudes though. I don't know. Then they asked where his suit went. The suit he had on. Hey, let me say you something. Black folks was riding with Ray Lewis. Shannon during that Super Bowl media time, he was protecting Ray, standing up for Ray, all of that, and we was riding for Ray. You wasn't gonna ever get us to say Ray did that until Ray got out here talking crazy about Colin Kaepernick and talking about he ain't never kneeling and all of that. He ain't never kneeling. And black folks like, hold on, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Black folks start looking at him differently. Calvin Booker say Ray Lewis and Jason Whitlock value the Bible over people. And that's a fact, man. I don't know why my channel acting crazy. Yeah, that is a fact. Ray Lewis and Jason Whitlock value the Bible over black folks, over the people, over black folks. They do, 100%. And for Ray to be out here talking like he just holier than thou, like he just the high, like, oh, I'm not of worldly things and all of that. Do Ray still be out here getting his freak on, kicking it with women left and right? Do he still be doing that? Because Ray got 6 children by 4 different women, right? And I can't talk about nobody. I got 2 kids by 2 different women myself. Okay. So I'm never gonna act like I'm holier than thou. But for him to act like he just holier than thou, knowing you got 6 babies by 4 different women. You was out here doing your time, doing all your little escapades. You was out here, you was never getting married to none of them. To act like you just this super duper Christian. Is Ray married now? I doubt it. I doubt it. You was on trial for what you was on trial for. To act like, I'm not worldly. Shannon is worldly. Shannon is being a worldly man. I am of God. I'm the most godly of godliest. I am the top of the top. I am the Bible. God, I'm all about the Bible. I'm all about Jesus Christ. I'm all about God. Shannon is worldly. He is not about God. I am a Christian man. I am a God-fearing man. I am of the Most High. Brother, do you still be out here going on dating sites, going on 5, 6, 7 dates per month? I really want to know something before folks something. And when you going on these dates, are the dates ending in a hotel room somewhere? Are the dates ending in a hotel room somewhere? I'm not gonna judge you, brother. I'm not. But if you out here acting like you are, I don't know, you out here acting like you just the most godliest man of all time, we're gonna look at you funny style if all your dates ending in a hotel room. Let's be for real. Like, I don't like when people do that. Something crazy. I was like, when he did his famous dance, he would be making stabbing motion. Yeah, hey, hey, y'all crazy. Talking about he making stabbing motions with his hands. Right? I like that. Hey, y'all are crazy, man. Super crazy. But it's like, bro, what? Killing me, man. Right. And that's another thing. He on there with Patrick Bet David. Man, talking about this with Shannon. He on there with Patrick Bet David. Talking like this about Shannon. Like, what? This is a man who denies racism, who always talking about how his people was immigrants and they came over here and made something of their life, and using that to say why other people can't do the same for their life. Man, Patrick Bet David, one of them individuals. Like, I ain't get up out of here, dog. Like, going on his platform, trashing Shannon of all platforms, that's just clowned out in general. So I'm with you on that, Cully. He's a Razor Ray Lewis. Razor Ray Lewis is crazy. Black Maul, what's the deal? He said any black person who uses religion over race is just self-hating as a person. I'm black before anything, like any other black person. So to say you're a Christian first is always will be wow. Man, listen, people, and this is the problem with that. I'm a Christian, right? But the problem with that is that people, a lot of Christians who are conservative, they use religion to get out of addressing real issues that's happening with black folks. A lot of the real Christians, that the conservative Christians, they don't want to address racism. And I'd be like, yo, you think Jesus Christ would like racism? You think Jesus Christ would like a certain group of people being oppressed over others, like by others, rather? You think Jesus Christ would like the fact that black folks getting their lives taken unjustly in the street? But you figuring out a way to absolve the dominant society from to absolve them of this happening to black folks. Like I don't get it, man. I don't get it. The same thing I remember when Michael Porter Jr. Michael Porter Jr. He biracial, got a white mama, black father. When the situation happened with George Floyd, when George Floyd had his life taken at the hands of law enforcement, Michael Porter Jr. talking about, oh, we need to just come together and be in peace. We need to pray for Derek Chauvin and also pray for George Floyd and his family. What? I'm not, no. What? Because Michael Porter Jr., he come from a family that don't like to talk about race issues. I'm sure he was nurtured by a woman, probably a conservative white woman who does not like to talk about race issues at all, and does not like to talk about it, especially when it comes to black folks getting harmed. He grew up in a household like that where black folks being harmed was cool and it was okay. We shouldn't talk about it. It shouldn't be a thing that we address. We should act like we don't see it. We should act like it's not happening. We should just pray, instead of holding people accountable, that holding the man accountable who took the life of George Floyd. We just supposed to say, I'm just gonna pray for him. I don't think we should be talking about, hey, yeah, because you don't want to address the issue at hand because it's dealing with race and black folks being the what's the word I'm looking for? It's dealing with black folks being harmed and black folks um race not working in black folks' favor. Black folks being thrown under the bus, black folks being harmed. When it comes to black folks being harmed, you don't see race, you only see God. That's the problem with that. And this is what happens. This is why I always say this, man. And people might not like when I say this. When I talk about interracial relationships, and I say, man, people can date who they want to date, be with who they want to be with. But a lot of the times, the mothers do the nurturing, right? And especially when the mother white, and when the mother is white and the father black. A lot of times the black father, he just let the mama just do all the nurturing. He let her do the child rearing. He let her do the passing down of culture, all of that. And so you see a lot of these dudes with white mothers and black fathers, they be on that MAGA type time. They be on that I don't see racism, I don't see color type time, because that's what they mamas be on. And they learn that from their mamas and their mama family. And that is the type of ideologies that they take up. And so for me, as a black man, I could never allow my children to be thinking like that. I could never allow my children to be thinking that race does not matter in this society when you are being raised as a black person. Because when they see Michael Porter Jr., they're not going to see a mulatto. They're going to see a black man before anything, for real. And I'm going to be raising my children to be black in this world. I'm raising them to be black in this world. And I don't need any outside interference telling them that race doesn't matter because they mama and them family saying race don't matter. It's just, hey, man, it's just not about race at all. And I have my kids out here confused, thinking they could talk to the police the same way white folks talk to the police, that they can interact with them in the same way, that they can just move out here willy-nilly and not be cognizant that people view you as a black person, a black man, a black woman before anything. Even if your mama white or whatever she might be, they're gonna view you as black. So I don't need no outside interference uh from your mama and them family telling you, hey man, race don't matter. Hey man, this race stuff is not a big deal. And you go out here thinking that blindly. In the moment something happened to you, you question it. Why is this happening? When I'm raising you to know this could happen to you. I'm not raising you to know that you're oblivious, that you're above all of this happening. Come on, man. Uh you know what's crazy, Mac? I came across a video the other day around that time in 2020 where white people getting on one knee for black people. It was crazy to me because I didn't need white people getting on one knee for me, but run my people those MF reparations though. Facts. Run them reparations. You know, they ain't gonna give it to us though. They against giving it to us all the way 100%. But I'm with you though. I'm with you 1,000%. Hodge twins experienced this firsthand a few weeks ago with that all white city. Effing clowns, yeah. They think they above racism. They think as long as you identify as a conservative, especially an anti-black conservative, you're going to be accepted and be one of the good ones. They still don't like you. They just use you to further their message. And they use you to say, hey, I'm not racist. Look at these black individuals saying the same thing that I'm saying. That's all that's about, you know? Yeah. Dwayne, Dwayne say, I don't have any problems with interracial dating or marriages. The problem I do have is any black man or woman throwing black people under the bus at the expense of their white spouse. That's my issue right there. Because I told y'all, I know too many people that I love that are not married to black women, right? My first cousin that played ball overseas, he's married to a woman from Finland. He will be on this channel, right? I got friends who are not with black women, friends who are with a Hispanic woman, friends who are with a woman who is a Pacific Islander, etc. You know what I mean? So I don't condemn brothers for who they date. My thing is, don't let who you date allow you to throw black folks under the bus. You got to remember you black before anything. So don't just because you dating somebody of another ethnicity does not mean you should be out there throwing black folks under the bus or standing against us in any way. Using your mouth to talk down on the same race that you, the same ethnicity that you are. That's clowned out to me. Uh, Hold on. What did he say? SL say it may be controversial, but it reminds me of how Asians were used to remove affirmative action / DEI programs in hiring in schools. So I made a video about that. Like I remember they was thinking that it was the Asian people thinking that black folks was taking their spots with affirmative action and DEI. Like, no, we are not the ones taking your spots at all. Well, they're taking up our spots and then they got it removed because they thinking this is not, they're thinking it's helping us get ahead of them. Well, no, it's helping y'all. It's helping y'all. And the moment we get it removed, y'all not going to be considered for certain things, for certain programs and certain, getting to certain schools, etc. Even though you got certain test scores and grades. That was helping y'all. So to act like, oh, you thinking it's helping me, and my brother or my best friend is helping us over y'all, and you fighting against it. And now you sitting on the outside looking in because the programs that you thought was helping black folks, it was helping you all along, you know? And I made a video about this for sure. Cully said Asians view themselves as honorary whites. A lot of them do. A lot of them do. If you, it's a lot of YouTubers out here that are Asian that talk about them hating their Asian culture. The Asians that grew up in America, them hating their Asian culture. They from anything to do with being Asian at all. They speak about it openly. And they talked about how they are ashamed of how they used to be. Or some of them like talk about, hey, I wanted to be white over everything. It's why, like, I remember when I was in that pharmacy program, I had a friend named Michael. Michael told me that when Chinese people be in America, they want them to assimilate to American principles and ideology all the way around. They named them American names, and then even a lot of the a lot of Asian folks, they take up uh, this loathing of Black American people. They tell their kids you can date anybody except a Black person. You can marry anybody except a Black person. Right? They look at a lot of them be looking at Black folks as inferior and all of that, just like a lot of the dominant society does, because they want to assimilate when they come here all the way around. And also the hate for Black folks is just crazy. The disdain for Black people worldwide is disgusting. Zero said the Michael Porter Jr. situation is where I draw the line when it comes to dating out of my race. I have to make sure I don't hurt the feelings of the white people in the family. Man, bump that. And that's another thing, right? When you're dating interracially, I think subconsciously you try not to offend your partner and their family. So even when time calls for you to be into with Black folks, subconsciously you could not even be doing it on purpose. You water down certain messages because you don't want your mother-in-law, your father-in-law, your cousin-in-law, sister-in-law, brother-in-law to feel away. You don't want them to be feeling like, oh, you hate them when you say take these stances uh, that are in favor of Black folks. That type of thing. I don't got time for that. I don't. I don't personally. I do not have time for those things. So I have to be unapologetically Black. I have to stand with Black folks. And I don't have room to feel guilty about it. I don't have room to feel, like I'm doing something wrong, like I should tone it down and dial it back. I don't. Because I don't hate nobody based upon their ethnicity. I just don't want nobody hate my people based upon our ethnicity. I don't stand for people doing my people dirty based on our ethnicity. I don't want folks raking my people through the coals and throwing us under the bus and making it seem like we gaslighting us and believing that systemic racism isn't a thing. I can't stand for that. You know what I'm saying? So that is the thing. That's another part of why I gotta be with a Black woman, because I don't got time for that. I don't have time to try to water down my message out of fear of me rubbing people the wrong way who are now part of my family due to marriage. And some people can walk that line and still be super heavily talking. They can talk super heavily in favor of Black folks despite them having a non-Black spouse. But it still leads to problems at the end of the day. Sometimes your mother-in-law start getting in her feelings. Your father-in-law start getting in his feelings. He start seeing you share Malcolm X quotes on Twitter and Facebook. They start getting a little worried, etc. And I don't got time for that. Let's see. Probably my internet was acting crazy. Was it lagging? My internet probably was getting crazy. Hold on, man. But no, what I was saying was that a lot of times, let me see. Can y'all hear me now? Am I clear? What Tupac say? Am I clear to you? Am I clear to you? Yeah, a lot of times, man, when people are dating somebody of another ethnicity, they tone down their mess. They water down black messages. Because they worry about how it will offend their mother-in-law, their father-in-law that's not Black, their brother-in-law, sister-in-law. So they tone down their messages. They tone down um, the way they stand in solidarity with Black folks because they think it's going to make their in-laws feel a certain way. They think it's going to offend their in-laws, and your in-laws should never be offended by you saying, "Hey, man, it's not right for black folks to get done wrong. It's not right for black folks to be taken out by law enforcement unjustly. It's not right for black folks to be experience systemic racism, etc." Right? Your in-laws should never feel slighted by that or should never feel offended by that. But a lot of people who marry outside of their race, they have to worry about, hey, I don't want my mother-in-law to feel upset with me for sharing this quote of Malcolm X. I don't got time for that. I don't. I don't. I don't got time to be trying to tone down the way I love black folks because I'm with a non-black person and her family might take offense to that. I don't got time to tone down um my fight against systemic racism and against police brutality and things like that due to the feelings of the person that I'm married to. I have no room for that. I have no room for that. Some people be cool with it. And some people can walk that line and be like, yo, I can still push back against anti-black racism while being married to a person that's not black and dealing with my in-laws. But I think subconsciously, when you're with a person that's not black, a lot of times you're going to try to tone down your messaging out of fear of offending people that you're gonna see at the family reunion, that you're gonna see at the Labor Day barbecue, that you're gonna see um at a birthday party, that you're gonna see um I don't know, at some function that's going on in the summertime, you know? You walk a line because you don't want them to feel like you're attacking them. So subconsciously people do that. Even when you don't even know you're doing it, sometimes people do that. And like I said, I don't have time to subconsciously be on that. Dr. John Henry Clark or Ben Yosef would have systematically destroyed that panel. Real intellectuals. Yeah. Uh, So a black dude once said if he gave money to a white person, they'll just throw it down because he black. And he said being black is a curse. This may be controversial for what I'm about to say. Booker T. Washington was a ace boon. I get you. Yeah, that's that talent. Was that the talented 10th argument and all of that? And that, yeah. A lot of controversial things was said in that. A lot of things that we can look at now and say, yo, what? What do you mean by that? There's a lot of this belief that educated black folks felt like they were better than the regular, common, everyday black man. That they were more valued in society than people who did not um uh than people who did not receive a proper education. All I know is Candace Owens' white husband ain't gonna save her from this lawsuit. Her Negro wake up call has arrived. That's a fact. Right. WEB, I know WEB Du Bois, talented 10th. Yes. Yes. Look at the Atlanta compromise. Now, for enlighten me. Atlanta, what was the Atlanta compromise again? But yeah, I don't subscribe to people that think just because they got degrees and all of that, you're higher up than other black folks and you're more deserving of things than other black people because you went to school and other black folks didn't. Cully say, read the Atlanta Compromise. Booker T said, black people are highly skilled and resourceful. Do not replace us. Okay. He said Harlem was Black Mecca. Yeah, man. But yeah, I don't. And yes, SL made a great point. Having a degree versus critical thinking and situational awareness is different. Yes, there are people with degrees that do still don't aren't really great critical thinkers. They don't think critically. Um, and they just point to how many degrees that they have. I got several degrees, but I value being a critical thinker before anything. Like I would like to be able to think critically before anything. You know what I'm saying? Because there's people with degrees that say silly, stupid stuff on a regular basis. Silly stuff on a regular basis, and think just because they have a degree that their opinion holds more value than others. A lot of times, um, when you go, a lot of times when you study certain things, and when you study certain things, and when you're in certain, I guess, degree programs or whatever, you have to think critically in order to excel in them. But some people, man, they know what they're doing. They get in certain spaces and they just use a degree to say spew BS versus using critical thinking skills that they a lot of times do have in order they try to get their agenda off by just saying certain stuff and saying I have a degree. He said, "Facts, Mac. Look at Thomas Sowell. That's 100% fact. Don't y'all love when people use Thomas Sowell to prove their anti-black talking point, or they use Martin Luther King as a scapegoat for their racism?" Now, man, and this is really what makes me upset about Dr. Martin Luther King. I was thinking about that this morning. The way people look at Dr. Martin Luther King is just this, like he was just against black folks rising up and rising above oppression, and he only wanted us to just, he wanted. There's this notion that Dr. Martin Luther King was overlooking racism and just wanted us to just all just come together no matter what, even if racism was occurring. And there's this notion that Martin Luther King wanted us to be um, cozying up to white folks. No, he argued for access, for black folks to have access to the same education that white folks had. To, like, if he's on a road trip, a long drive with his family, his wife, his kids can use the restroom at the same restaurant that white folks use or go to, you know, instead of having to go miles out of town to use the bathroom, right? You want to access black folks to be able to learn at the same schools and use the same resources and gather the same resources that white folks can gather for their communities and bring it back to black communities, you know? Dwayne Johnson say, I was duped by Ben Carson in grade school watching The Gifted Hands. All of us were. That Gifted Hands, man, all of us were. For real. See, I said to my fourth grade teacher that I wanted to be like him. Then I grew older and he disappointed me. Yeah, a lot, man. Whew, we find that with a lot of folks that we grow up and we look at a certain way and we find out the worst about him. We're like, yo, this dude be eating them butter biscuits. He gladly eats butter biscuits like the what's the what you call it? What was the raccoon on Pocahontas? What was his name? What was his name? Miko something? I don't know what was his name. They be just like them. Proud to eat them butter biscuits. After that one debate, I asked my mom if she wants me to still be like him, and she shot me the dirtiest look. So I asked me mom. I asked me mom, me mom, me mom. I asked me mom. Oh man, man, man. Civil rights was hijacked by other races and other so-called minorities, unfortunately, and by us being a loving people, we accept everyone, which hurt Black Americans in the long run, 100%. Because Black Americans will accept everybody, and then everybody will not accept us. They are not accepting to us. We accept everybody else. They say when it's time for us to get accepted, they say, hold on now, you're a Negro now. Hold on now. I don't know about all of that. I don't know about all of that. Stay your black butt over there. Okay, you're black now. You're not gonna act like you deserve any type of compassion. Now you're black. You're black now. You don't deserve compassion like that. You're not white, so we can't trust that you're a good person because you're not white. That's how they be looking at us. It's just crazy. Super crazy. Walter Williams greater than Thomas So SL say, oh, you mean old Ben didn't convince you? He was the one when he said he would lead charge into a school with a oh man, man, man. But hey y'all, man, look, I'm finna get off this thing, man. Gotta get my son, man. So I'm gonna holler at y'all in a little minute. I appreciate everybody that came on here that showed love to the channel. It mean a whole lot to me, y'all. I'm gonna get off this thing. Peace.